You are.
Oh. Good evening and welcome to BSTV. This is the Simability V8ESC Season 11, Round 15. This is the Enduro at Donington Park, and this is much long awaited. We've got 17 gladiators in our arena tonight, and I am Pete Bingham. In the booth with me is Clyde White in this evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, Sam. Good evening, everybody.
And Sam is on the cameras again, so no bad camera work or bad replays. So good evening, Sam.
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everybody. I'm sure you did well, Pete.
Others said so, but I think they were just being kind. So we are here for a 2-hour race around the iconic Donington circuit. It's got some of the most famous corners in road racing, really. Bikes come here a lot, British Superbikes, World Superbikes, and it's got some of the more iconic turns of Craner, the old hairpin, Coppice, which is a right-hander at the top of a hill, which catches everybody out every so often, Melbourne hairpin, because we're doing the extended version of it. We're at the GP layout. The S's, which is the chicane towards the end of the lap. And everybody's starting qualifying. So, Clyde, what are you expecting for this evening?
Well, first of all, not a carousel in sight, which is good. Do you know what? You really don't know, do you, with these endurance races? I must admit that they are my favourite races in the whole series. The tactics that come into play, we're guessing what the hell is going on throughout the race, and then everything comes together at the end. But we see drivers doing different things, and you try and calculate it in your head, and you're like, that's not going to work. And then it works, and I just love the tactical side of racing, as well as the whoever is the quickest usually wins side of racing. I think the endurance just throws a bit extra into it.
It really does, because we've been guessing about tactics in a couple of these endurance races for V8ESC now. And I think your point about the fastest car winning it is going to be a bit different tonight. I think there's going to be a real tussle for the top here. I can see Chris Jackson being pressured by Simon Trendel and by, I'm looking down the list, Marco Namela, who we're watching at the minute, possibly Tyler on a good day, and Adam Wright's been very competitive in this car recently as well.
Adam is, apart from Chris Jackson, at the moment, in my eyes, the hottest property in V8ESC. His rise up the ranks, and now his consistent performances this season have really, really made him stand out for me.
Yeah, he's and it seems to be in any car he gets in at the minute. He's one of those people I have to hate, because all right, be good in one car, fine, but being good in all cars, you're really upsetting me now, because I'm crap in all of them.
Well, I think, to be fair to Adam, I think what he's done, especially this season, and long may it continue, he's made the V8 his main focus. So all of his practice time and everything else, it goes into the V8, and we see him in a lot of our other series, which he tends to arrive and drive and still do well. Don't get me wrong. But it does show that, when you put everything into this car, you can get the results.
Yeah, it's a car you can't just dip in and out of. You've got to give it the practice time. Well, that's true of any car, but this one even more so. There's no traction control. There's no driver assist at all, is there really? It's just brutality on wheels.
Well, there's no anything control, is there?
No, well, not when I'm behind the wheel, no. So at the minute, your provisional pole man is Marco Namela, who joined us for his first race back in V8ESC last time out. and got himself a 14th and a nowhere. So I think it'll be a bit different tonight. Chris Jackson is provisionally in second. And then check out who's in third. Right?
I know.
Don't adjust your set. Don't adjust your set.
Something very weird going on at the moment.
Where's Mandy?
Probably fiddling with macros.
Oh dear, that's funny. So, yeah, Andrew Hoffman provisionally on the second row at the minute with Tyler Newitt. So we'll have to see how it turns out at the end of this. One thing I do know about this track in any car, it's easy to pick up incident points, Clyde. You've got many places where a little what you think is a little dip into the dirt is an off track here. I think in 2 hours we might see some drives of shame.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you got the same inside information as me from our Stig of the series.
Yeah.
Says it's going to be 79 or 80 laps, but also goes on to say the biggest obstacle is off tracks. Very easy to get, and you may see a few drives of shame. So, yeah, again, that's another thing with the endurance race, isn't it? They've still got the 15 incident limit, and yeah, one drive through can drop you right down through the grid. It's just something else these drivers have to think about.
Yeah, and let's have a look at where we stand at the moment. So it's the top threes in the main event, the Simability Cup, is obviously Chris Jackson, quite a significant way in the lead ahead of Adam Wright. So Chris has got 1,016 points. Adam's got 748, with Kenzie in third place. Now Kenzie's kind of bowed out of the league, hasn't he? So that opens the door for Adam to stride away. I don't know where Kenzie will end up, really. But he's got 727 points. And then in the teams championship, we have NQR North America. They're on 1,774 and 320 behind a BSTV Esports Green. So that's quite a margin to have to try and bridge as well. NQR Europe a third on 1,252. The Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award is suspiciously being won at the moment by Chris Jackson, with Ivan in second place and Ryan Walker in third place. They're all here tonight, so I'm sure they'll be able to throw some of those points away in the Safe Drivers Award, picking up off tracks around here. In the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, Chris Jackson leads the way with 46, overtakes Stephen Phillips with 36, is in second, and Kenzie, who's not here, is in third. Well, in third on 31. And then your head-to-heads, Clyde.
This is the business end of the season as far as the head-to-head goes. Semi-final one, Vincent Skilbeck against Adam Wright, two very, very quick drivers on their day. And then I think the highlight of the semi-finals, no disrespect to Vincent and Adam, but it's teammates Chris Jackson versus Tony Klusterman.
And I think that one's going to be a bit tasty because it's on. Is it this race and the next one?
It certainly is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just checking. So that one will be pretty good because whilst Tony's not had the best of luck in the sprint features this season, he generally does very well in the enduros. So let's see what happens here. Last time, that man Nicole Foggy, that's not here tonight, won both sprint and feature. Adam Wright finished second and third respectively, and then Chris Jackson came third in the sprint, and it was Tyler that came second in the feature race. So a bit of a mixed bag last time out, and will be completely different today, obviously, with no Nicole Foggy. So it's going to create a different dynamic, I think. there's going to be nobody hunting down the field like Foggy does, because he does do that, doesn't he? He stalks his prey, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Picks them off.
But, Marco Namela's back. Yeah, we know he didn't have a very good outing last time out, but he seems to have got his act together this time out. Currently top of the pile. And somebody said to me a couple of weeks ago, and for the life of me I can't remember who it was because my memory is that bad. He is the fastest driver never to win the championship. Really? And I thought that was quite apt.
Yeah, that's very poignant, yeah. And actually, it's a very, very accurate statement. I mean, he is rapid, isn't he? And when you think of the other ones that we associate with being super quick, they have won it. The likes of Tony and Chris and Johnny Brandon and Nicole and George McClay, he won it once, didn't he? Or did he not?
No, he didn't.
Maybe he didn't.
Oka didn't he? He's had a championship, and so has Mike Taliancic.
Yes, well, he kind of cheated, didn't he? Because he had a solar-powered car. Won all the Enduros without pitting. How many pit stops are we expecting, Clyde? Any idea?
I have a feeling it's going to be 2.
Right, okay.
But I think even that 2 might take a little bit of saving. So there are drivers out there that we know, like me, just can't fuel save for toffee. So don't be surprised if you see somebody make 3.
Right, okay. That's interesting. We'll be able to see fairly quickly because it'll be the people that are gunning it at the start. But yeah, and do you think there's going to be any kind of undercut effect here? 2 pit stops? It might happen, mightn't it?
Well, we'll soon find out when Marco Namela pits.
Yeah.
We coined the phrase the Namela effect. Let's see if the Namela effect happens tonight. I can't see that he's changed his tactics. However, if there is a bit of fuel saving to do a 2-stopper, that sometimes throws that undercut tactic out of the window.
Yeah, it does. So we've got 3 or 4 minutes left of qualifying, and the standings are changing, even if the top 2 aren't. So Simon Trendel has just shuffled himself into 3rd place, 2nd row, provisionally for Simon. Is that his teammate behind him on track or not? No, it's not. It's a wheelie bin, I think. So Donington, Clyde, you've been there for races, haven't you?
Yeah, raced there, spectated there. Probably one of my favourite tracks in the UK. It's a great track to drive. It's a great track to go and watch racing. For me, it's about the right length. It's a Nats Pube under 2.5 miles. It's got an interesting, a weird flow to it. It's right, left, right, left, right. It's just a pleasure to drive round.
Yeah, and I've been there a few times as well for sporting events, and also for what they used to host here was the Monsters of Rock Festival every year. So I used to come here in the mid-90s with a few friends, sometimes getting on the wrong coach. So if any of my friends are watching the stream or the repeat of this at any point, they'll know what I mean by that, because it was just ridiculous.
Is that called tripping your titties off?
Maybe. We can't make any public comments. Had to sign a thing when I joined my current job that said, "Have you ever?" And of course, you tick no. Yeah. So yeah, and we know the pit lane here can be utterly deceiving, can't we? Your pit box can spring up out of nowhere at any given time, and you may drive past it. Isn't that right?
I think that's just you, Pete.
Oh. Okay, let's move on beyond that one then. Yes, this is the famous track where I sailed straight past my pit box, got confused by the end of pit road when I hadn't found my pit box, and then did another lap. But thankfully, I had the fuel though, so it was all good in the end.
Notoriously difficult to overtake round here.
Yeah. Well, in the lower.
Well,
Sorry,
I was going to say, apart from the clever drivers that can set people up,
Yes.
and I will mention him, a certain Mr. Ash Sutton. I don't know what it is about him and Donington, but he finds places to overtake which shouldn't be allowed.
Did you see him in the touring cars?
Yes.
What on earth? He was going around the outside of the Craner curves. What?
Yeah, I know.
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah, different class. But yeah, you know, that's going to make it, again, that adds to the tactics. You know, if you can't get past somebody on track, can you get past them in the pit lane?
Yeah.
The incident points, as we said before, they're going to come into it. They've only got 15 to play with. It's a 2-hour race. It's easy to pick them up. There is just so much that can happen in this race. My head is exploding already, and it hasn't even started.
Evening to Mike Frost on the chat. Good evening. Who's Mike cheering for tonight? If he can tell us, then he can curse that individual and make sure that they don't finish the race. Session has gone checkered, so they'll be finishing their last laps for this qualifying session. Tyler is the only one still on the lap, actually, and I don't think he's on an Earth affecting one. Maybe he's just finishing it for fun.
I think Sam may have just died in the background, but as
really?
long as he doesn't collapse on his PC, the broadcast should still running.
Yeah, if he doesn't hit any buttons on his keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, that's the key. If I don't hit the stop broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tyler abandoned the lap at Melbourne hairpin and decided to use up some of the tyres.
Yeah, he's practicing his victory donuts.
Mike Frost says Jamie's due a win in this car. That is actually true.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Interesting, just before we get the grid up, track lap record. Nicole Foggy last season with a 1:27.487.
Wow.
Marco Nemela's pole lap 1:27.040. Chance that the lap record could go again this season.
Very, very easy, especially when you see Chris Jackson on pretty much an identical time.
Yeah, well, he did a 26.9 in practice.
Right. That must be with the macro in effect. So, yeah, here we are. We should be tripping over into race in just a few seconds, actually.
There we go. Should be clicking over now.
Good. Right. So, your pole man for the evening is Marco Nemela. He's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. For Racecraft Esports, I don't think he races for them anymore, does he?
No, I think it's Glacier. No.
Yeah, Glacier. Chris Jackson goes off second. NQR North America. Adam Wright off third for BSTV Esports Green. Simon Trendel off fourth for Team Chimera. Bob Woodhouse off fifth for NQR Europe. And Jamie Wilson behind his teammate for Team Chimera in sixth. Seventh is Andrew Hoffman for Pecky's Performance Racing. Don't adjust your sets, that is right. Tony Klusterman is in eighth for NQR North America. Behind Andrew Hoffman. He'll hate me for that later, I'm pretty sure. Vincent Skilbeck in ninth for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Brian Walker in 10th for BSTV Esports Green. Tyler goes off 11th, also for BSTV Esports Green. Stephen Phillips for Dash Iron Racing goes off 12th. 13th, I think, is Nikolai Bogotyrev. Yes. 14th for NQR Europe. His teammate Ant Woodward is next to him in 14th. 15th is Miro Haraski for PCS. 16th is Ivan Batmans for Track Velocity Racing. And at the back of the field is Ryan James for Racing Forces in P17.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan's taken the grid.
No, that's why I stalled, because his name was greyed out on my screen. So I think we're going to start with 16 races, and we're gone.
We're gone. We're away.
Flagman's doing his thing. It looks pretty even.
I think Barney's taking his tablets. There's Jackson trying to go around the outside. Tyler knew it. He's tapped.
He's tagged Stephen Phillips.
Don't know who else got in trouble there. It's just saying Chris Jackson was immediately trying to go around the outside of Marco Namela into Redgate, but didn't quite pull that one off.
No, and Marco's got himself a little bit of a lead, so this is going to put Stephen Phillips out of position. Hopefully his car's not too damaged.
I think these cars are a little bit more resilient than they used to be.
It used to be that you touched anything like a stone on the floor and all the panels would fall off it.
There's the SB curb cam.
Oh, there's a bit of damage on Miro Hraski's car. Did you see that as he went over our heads?
Ooh, and I think...
Oh! That's a... I don't know what happened there.
That looked...
We're going to have to see that again.
Very weird.
That looked very ultra netco, ultra solid air.
I think there was a little touch into the previous corner.
Right. We'll have to go back and see that once everything calms down a little. So there's a few cars here with 4 incident points already, Clyde. That's nearly a third of their allowance straight away.
Exactly. Ryan Walker
is on track. Oh, he's in the session. He's not on track yet. Or has he left the session?
Did he start, or was
I don't think so.
It may. No, I think he's involved in this.
So this is the start.
He got caught out. He's right out on the left-hand side, on the grass.
Oh, there.
No.
No, not in that one.
Nothing there.
I saw him. I saw him super wide in the last hairpin, which is coming up now on this bit of footage. So he was super wide here for whatever reason.
Well,
then the camera got away before. Yeah. And is he trying to get back to pit road? Oh, he is. Yeah. Okay. So he must have damage or quali fuel or something.
Yeah, something weird going on there, isn't there?
Very. He's back out on track though.
This is the Hoffman one.
So there's a tag there.
There's a tag there onto Tony. But then this is...
Ooh. Oh! Who was that? Jamie?
I need to see that again because for some reason I think Tony Klusterman was going slow. And Jamie's turned right to avoid him.
Right, so a bit of sideways
Here.
there.
What's now? Tony got on the grass.
Yeah. I think Jamie should have lifted instead of moving, because he would have had a car warning to his right, wouldn't he?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Right then, so that's Bob Woodhouse under a load of pressure from Jamie Wilson.
So Ryan Walker is back on track. So
that must have been damage. That's all I can think.
I can't. He didn't get damage from anywhere though, did he?
Well, how long was he stopped? Oh, it can't have been damaged. It's free repair wasn't used. He stopped for over a minute. Oh, sorry, pit lane time for over a minute. It must have been fuel. Or do you think he's gone in to reset something on his rig?
Possibly.
I've just put my finger out of the window and it says quali fuel.
Right.
Just like that. That's my guess.
So this is Tyler making a move on Tony. And he's made that stick.
Yeah, no, Tyler was sideways the last time we look at him.
Whoa, so is Jamie. Some ballerina work going on there from Jamie Wilson. Do we have his inset picture tonight, Sam?
No, I had
No.
a message from Jimmy to have a dedicated one, and
No
I
worries.
have to work
Just-
out a tutorial for drivers to join the new system we found with Jamie. I'm still doing a few tests right now in the background.
Cool. As long as we've got a solution that's better than what we had, that's good.
We will for probably the next race. I just have to find the time to make the tutorial.
Cool. So that's Jamie making that one stick, Clyde. That was a good overtake.
Yeah, that was on Bob Woodhouse. And Woodward's made up a few places from the start as well.
He really has, actually. He does this, though, doesn't he? And he's been either very unlucky or lost concentration or one of a number of things in previous races. But he's had some good results recently, hasn't he? Just outside the top 5 or hanging around the top 5.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I can remember him being right up there at the pointy end not very long ago. Something we didn't say this week is Jamie Wilson and Simon Trendel have had a terrible start. So I don't know whether those guys have been practicing.
Well, Simon Trendel's in 4th and his teammates not right behind him, but he's behind him on track. This is Miro under some serious pressure from Stephen Phillips. Stephen's got a very damaged car from getting turned by Tyler on the first lap. Look at the rear wing.
Yeah, how did he get that damage up there?
I think he got tagged in 2 hits. One was Tyler and one was somebody else coming through. Because he's got damage on the left-hand side of his car and damage on the right front as well. He's done that move now, so that's shuffled him ahead of Miro. He's now got a bit of a gap in front of him, 7 seconds of gap.
Oh!
Whoa, that is a late challenge.
That was Nikolai.
He's got a bag full of wheel spin for his trouble there.
Yeah, he had a bag full of lockup as well.
He did. And he's back behind Miro. So that didn't work. Miro's got damage. This is what I was saying before. He's got damage front and back, that car. And I don't know where that came from. Maybe that was with Stephen Phillips and Tyler.
Yeah, maybe worth having another look at that at some point.
Drifting from Miro Hraski. What the hell is turn 1 called? I can never remember. Redgate.
Redgate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brain just eviscerates that every time I try and remember it. So, I wonder what the tow is like heading down. Is it still Starkey Straight, or did they call it something else like Repsol? Or...
You never know, do you?
No, I think they sold it to someone. But there's a reasonable tow in these cars, because they are like a house brick with a fin on the back, aren't they? So.
Yeah, the interesting bit about that straight, well, there's a couple of interesting bits actually. Number one, it gets covered in jet fuel because of proximity to East Midlands Airport and the runway alignment. And number two, there's 2 massive lumps on that straight that you just don't see very well. But
Right.
you feel it when you're in the car.
Well, that's also the location where they put the Portaloos for Monsters of Rock Festival back in the 90s, so maybe that's got something to do with it as well.
Probably why then, yeah.
I mean, you didn't use them because people would push them over with you in them, but, you know. So a much better line through that bit from Tyler than Ant Woodward. Is Ant Woodward? No, he's not the most forward NQR Europe car. That's Bob Woodhouse.
Tyler's showing some decent pace, really.
Oh yeah, he's got it all hooked up at the minute. I mean, Adam, his teammate, is in 3rd place at the moment. A bit of drift in both directions. He's 2 seconds behind Chris and 4 seconds ahead of Simon. So he's in a bit of no man's land. So he's going to get 0 footage doing that.
Yeah, the trouble is you don't know if that's pace, tactics, fuel saving.
Oh no, sorry, I was reading it wrong. So he's absolutely on the same bit of tarmac as Simon Trendel. This is showing the differences. So there's a big gap there, like I said before, for Stephen Phillips to try and cross. You get so many different lines into Melbourne Hairpin, don't you?
You do, yeah.
It's so wide, the track there.
And none of them are right.
Yeah, and all of them result in wheel spin leading out of it. Yeah. Downhill into a hairpin is a horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
Even in a simulator, it's just you think all of this is wrong. Every bit of it is wrong. I want to be going uphill so that gravity scrubs some speed off for me as well. So we're on board with Simon Trendel, and he's getting very interested in the back of Adam's car. It's Jamie that's 4 seconds back. I missed an entire car earlier. So the aviation fuel that gets dropped onto the back straight there. I'm guessing. Oh, hang on, that's Vincent.
That is.
Oh, he's dropping.
He's dropped it somewhere.
I think he's clipped one or the other bits of grass leading in or out of the S's, the chicane here, or just got it all wrong.
Oh, yeah, totally wrong.
Late braking, that one. And then he got loads of wheel spin because his tyres were red hot. Oh, and this catching this.
Yeah, Ivan in his new fancy paint.
Jet fuel, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's greased it, yeah. So does it affect the tarmac then, as in the grip?
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, right, okay.
Because it doesn't soak into the tarmac, it doesn't evaporate, it just sits on the top. And to be honest, you don't normally notice it too much unless you get a bit of rain or drizzle. As soon as the track is damp, it gets dragged all the way down that straight.
And do you not get that at Daytona or any other places with an airport next to it?
Well, not so much, because Daytona, the airport is next to the track.
No, at the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, whereas this track is literally at the end of the runway. The other thing you get here as well, which you don't get in sim racing, is the little bit of straight between Melbourne and Goddard's. Now, for club racing, and if they're using the national circuit rather than the GP, which cuts that bit out, they use that straight for the assembly area. So you get all sorts of cars sat there leaking all sorts of crap on the track. And then the next time the GP circuit is used, it tends to be a little bit slippery down there.
Right. I didn't know that. So Stephen Phillips back under pressure from Nikolai. That damage that Stephen's got must be affecting the car. There's too much of it for it not to, really. Different lines, probably better line from Nikolai through Craner curves there. And now he's all over the back of him.
See him pull up there, a little twitch there by Stephen, but it is very, very difficult unless you do a total surprise move. Which, to be honest, these drivers are probably a little bit too sensible to do in an endurance race.
Yeah, I mean, well,
he's got a run on him now.
He has, but I don't think he's got enough of a run.
No, he
so,
didn't, did he?
No. I mean, Stephen's right front is sticking right out from the fairing. This is pretty much on now as well. So Tyler's on to and Woodward, and Vincent's on to Tony right behind as well. So we've got paired off cars right the way through the field. There's lots of dark red showing on my... In fact, you can see it in the timing tower. You can see the dark orange. There's quite a few cars in close proximity to one another.
Yeah, that gap at the front I've been keeping an eye on. That's going between 1.5 and 2 seconds.
And it all depends on how much fuel saving Marco and Chris are managing to do at the very front, if any. I'd be too concerned fuel saving that I was doing it wrong, like we did at Daytona, if you remember that. I remember saying, Clyde, when are we getting these laps back?
We won, didn't we?
No.
Yeah,
No, we really
didn't. Say yes.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Whatever. We should do that again one day, because that was funny, wasn't it, that race? It was hilarious.
Adam Wright is under a lot of pressure here from Simon.
You say that, but he's been under that pressure for about the last 6 or 7 laps.
Yeah, and the pair of them are both pulling away from Jamie Wilson.
I think Jamie's had Bob Woodhouse sticking his car where he doesn't want it a couple of times.
Ooh.
I've seen it in the distance. But
Tyler was sideways in the distance there.
Oh, right. But a bag full of wheel spin coming out of the final hairpin.
Down the hill, up the hill.
Yeah. I prefer tracks with, you know, the undulation, the topography to make it not just about driving in straight lines. You know, like Sebring, it's been ironed, hasn't it? It used to be an airstrip.
Yeah.
This one's a bit more tasty. Bit of elevation change.
You can just about see the lumps on that straight, actually, from that wide angle.
There's a
big block up there. That was Ant, was it?
Yeah. Doing 2x2 up this little straight to Goddard's.
I don't know if it was Ant that locked up or Tyler locked up trying to avoid him.
Oh, Tyler's been hung out to dry around the outside and has to fall back in. And Vincent couldn't do much where he was. He was on the outside, so he was always going to get shuffled back again. Tyler nice and careful on the gas, you can hear that. It's a good race, this. Between these 4 it'll be shortly, because the 2 behind are catching.
Cake has arrived.
Do you need cake medicinally?
Yes.
Right, that's what
It's
I was...
healthy cake. It's carrot cake.
Alright, so it's a vegetable then.
Yeah, with cookie dough ice cream.
So Nikolai is literally crawling all over the beleaguered Stephen Phillips car at the moment. Can we go on board with Stephen and just see if his steering wheel's pointing in the normal direction on the way down the straight? Seems fine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Damage looks worse than... Oh, hang on. Nearly missed the entire overtake. That's going to get you a slowdown, I reckon, Nikolai, because you just... You just farmed the inside corner there. Properly ploughed it. The farmer's going to be well happy with the work you've done there. He's trying this, though. He's still fighting this. He's going to lose out. Is he? Oh, Stephen got a lot of wheel spin coming out of Melbourne. Still going to have the favourable line into Goddard's. Side by side for 2 or 3 turns. Oh, unlucky Nikolai. Load of wheel spin, but is he ahead? I suppose he doesn't need to be ahead, does he? He just needs to be on the inside. He's done this. Or has he? Alright, you can't do a whole lap, boys. You can't do that. That's just taking the Michael. They are, you know. They're going to do side by side for an entire lap here, aren't they? So they've got 3 or 4 more turns, and then it's... Oh, and Stephen... Has he got this? Yes. So he's just about shuffled in front of Nikolai. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, yep.
And that's why we tune into V8ESC, folks. What we got here?
Vincent and Tony.
Vincent and Tony still, for now. Oh, Tony's got a slowdown. Where's he picked that up? Turn 1?
Well, if he did, he was trying to lose it for a while.
Yeah. I know that certain slowdowns, I can't remember which one, but you pretty much just have to park the car, have a biscuit and a cup of tea, and then set off again. Because the time it gives you is just unbelievable. So, here we go again.
I was just going to say, this is still on.
It is, yeah. If Nikolai didn't keep getting wheel spin, it might have been on for longer as well. It is. Ooh, hang on, that's extracurricular. Who was that? Is that Tyler putting bags of pressure here on Ant Woodward? And he's got that done. Oh, and it was Ant Woodward that went super wide. Now he's going to be under pressure from Vincent. Why is Vincent suddenly so far back?
He's had an... Ooh.
Oh, he's having a strobing moment, that's for sure. He's pulled over to the side of the road and then set off again, has he? Oh, he's got to the end of a slowdown, hasn't he, and not managed to shed it.
Yeah.
That's the one that I was talking about. I don't know where you pick it up, I can't remember, but you basically just have to have a picnic and then set off again later.
Have a bit of cake.
Bit of cake, bit of cookie dough ice cream, is that what you've got?
Mm-hmm.
Is it homemade cake?
No.
No.
It is usually, but not.
Yeah, thought so. So Bob Woodhouse and Jamie Wilson still going at it. We are 23 minutes into the race. Don't expect to see any cars into pit road just yet. But it's not going to be that much further, is it, Clyde, before we see somebody? And it's going to be like the 35-minute mark, right? No, it's not, is it? It's going to be the 40-odd minute mark, yeah. My SDK timing screen's gone absolutely mental. Because it says Adam Wright's not done any pit stops, but he's been in pit road for 0.1 of a second.
Yeah, I would expect first stop's probably lap 26, 27.
Oh, we're not far away then. No, we are. We're miles away. I'll shut up. I'm thinking minutes, not laps. Idiot boy. So, Jamie's trying to get himself a gap. Stephen Phillips under masses of pressure from Nikolai still. I think Stephen will be happy when he gets to a pit stop. Miro in the background. His car still looks a bit mangled, so he's not been to pit road yet. Andrew Hoffman is 8 places back from where he started after all the goings on with him hitting the wall and everything. Still on track though and still racing. Maybe he can bring something back from this. He certainly had the pace.
You mean after he was Wilsoned?
Yeah.
The gap at the front still the same.
Yeah, it's just staying about 1.6 seconds. Do you think that that's Chris Jackson? Sean Connery's in the building. Do you think that's him measuring out that gap and maintaining it, or would you want to be near it if you were doing that?
I don't know.
Or do you think he's just clinging on?
Well, they're still faster than anybody else on the track.
Oh yeah, by a reasonable amount as well. Like their last times were in the 128s. Everybody else is in the 129s at least.
I don't think either of them are doing extreme fuel saving.
Not if they're doing those times. They can't be, can they? So this is fourth place Simon Trendel still chasing down third place Adam Wright. Neither of them have set a wheel wrong so far. And the cars look very well behaved under acceleration, because that's the place to get wheel spin, that turn and this one. Melbourne and Goddard's. This is currently the closest, battle on track. Everybody else is kind of split up a little bit.
With how often do we see that?
Yeah. See it quite a lot. What's going on here?
Oh.
Stevens gone and done a strange thing. That's brake bias, isn't it?
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. And somebody greased the track there, have they? That's the same turn. Oh no, it's not. Where's whatever going to happen? Oh, that's Ivan with a slowdown. We saw that earlier from Vincent. Basically stopped his car. Stephen Phillips has, I was just going to say, dropped right down the order on my screen and is now reset to pit road, is he? This must be it now. Into turn one. Oh. Well, that was a weird waggle. And then a massive donut. That was a rage donut, I think.
I think so, yeah. There's currently 4 drivers that are over halfway to a drive of shame.
Really?
Only a quarter of a way through the race.
Oops. Vincent Skillback has just entered pit road.
Yogurt in the pits. Well, that's what it says on my screen anyway. Ski.
I was like, I'm not getting that. What is he on about? What is he talking about?
Pete thought he was tripping at Donington again. Allegedly. I'll just stick that in for your employer.
Yeah, cheers.
This gap's come down.
Yes, it has. Must be getting prepared for some pit stops, I think, because that's generally when people start gunning it.
Well, I think if anybody pits now, it's a 3-stopper.
Stephen Phillips has got out of his car and taken his stumps in, I think. So there's, again, lots and lots of battles on track. Tony Klusterman's in close company, Bob Woodhouse is in close company, and obviously this battle that you see on your screen right now. And the lead, of course, which is now just at a second, exactly 1 second.
So there'll be a lot of
Sorry, Tyler was.
drivers at the moment will be frantically fiddling with buttons, setting up their pit stop.
Yeah, it wasn't Tyler, sorry, it was Adam. But yes, this is usually where I try my best to crash, which is when I'm trying to take fuel out, or put fuel in, or turn off my fast repair if I've been lucky enough not to be hit or done something stupid myself. Marco Nemela is in the pits.
He is.
Miro Hrasky is leaving the pits 1 lap earlier than Marco. Everybody else seems to have gone round. So let's see if this Nemela effect has any effect.
Yeah, and is this a 3-stopper for Marco?
That's a good point. If it is, then you'd possibly think that this sways into a Chris Jackson victory, potentially.
Well, I suppose it, assuming that Chris is on a 2, Marco's on a 3, it depends on what sort of gaps Marco can pull out when he's on new tyres and Chris is on old tyres.
Yeah. Have the replays, Sam, have the replays of the dash cam thingy always had the dirt on the windscreen? Because I don't think they have.
What?
All of the sentence I just said. Yeah, that. Has it always had the dirt on the windscreen?
That's your monitor, Pete.
It's
That's good.
Needs to
my
be white.
eyeball. Yeah, I think that's new, but never mind.
No, that's all.
I know that view has always had dirt, but the other one I didn't think so. Anyway.
Well, the reason is the other one is a camera made by Jimmy Wilson,
Oh, right.
and it is inside the cockpit. Just
It's very good. That's why I'm
Yeah.
mentioning it. Yeah. I
so,
like that.
You can't see it, but there's a window in front of the camera, so that's why
Yeah.
you see all of the shit that's got on the windshield.
Uh-huh. Cool. Like it. More of that. More of that. More curb cam. Okay, so where are we at? So Adam is still trying to fend off Simon here. Further back, Tony Klusterman is with... is he with Marco now? I think he might be.
Yeah, well, no, he's
he's
Tony
with
Cruise
Am.
is quite a way in front of Marco at the moment.
So Tony's catching his NQR Europe teammate. These three are together after Miro's pitted, but he's a lap down. I don't think Miro's going to want to get involved in this lot, because the race in front of him is for second place at the moment. Although again, Miro in an undamaged car, he's quite quick, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Another driver with big improvements. Chris Jackson stays out again. He's now on lap 24.
Andrew Hoffman's in pit road again. This must be for a proper scheduled start. Although it shouldn't be, should it? Although if he only got his car repaired last time, then fair enough, I suppose.
So Marco's got 6 seconds of clear track in front of him.
And he's doing very, very fast laps. I don't know whether you can see that. He did a 128.2. I think his previous lap was a 127. So he is absolutely pounding it. I don't think that Chris Jackson's got the tyres to do anything as remarkable as that.
Yeah, Marco's quickest lap at the moment was on lap 3. That was a 127.9. So he's just done a 128.2.
See, maybe he's trying to do the lap times without giving Chris Jackson the toe to keep up with him. Ooh, that was a bit twitchy there from Tyler. Going into Goddard's. And equally as twitchy from Ant leaving Goddard's. So that kind of netted itself at 0.
Yeah, you can see Marco in the background there.
Andrew Hoffman back on track. You can just about see him approaching the back of Tony Klusterman.
Marco's took 3.5 seconds out of Tony Klusterman in 2 laps.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And just the way this is shaping up, round 1, I think, might go to Marco Namela, because I have a feeling these 3, apart from Andrew Hoffman, are all possibly going to pit before Marco reaches them.
Right. Well, Andrew Hoffman has already pitted twice. Tony's just let him through, probably so he can get a bit of a tow, because Andrew Hoffman's not slow around this track, so that'll benefit Tony to some degree. And then there's Marco, of course, so other cars will start to pit, so I think... Ooh, who's that? Nobody's gone in this lap. So there's a distinct difference. So that you might be right. It might be Marco on a 3-stop.
Yeah. That well, that will give us a definitive answer on whether this race was a 2-stopper or a 3-stopper.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Simon and Adam fighting it out for effectively what is 3rd and 4th, I think. But at the minute, it's for 2nd and 3rd. Oh, big wheel spin there for Adam. And Jamie Wilson's not managed to eat into the gap to them. It's 13 seconds now. Marco's caught up with Tony Klusterman, and Tony's letting him go by the look of that line.
Yeah, Marco really needed these to pit the lap before, didn't he?
Well, if they all get out of his way like that, then he'll benefit from the slipstream up until the point when he actually catches them. That is...
One just... and Woodward, I think, in the pit then.
Yeah, he's gone to join Ivan Batmans, who's already in pit road. Simon is putting his foot down now that they're getting close to the pit stops. I think he wants to be as close as he can. Might have saved fuel more over Adam.
Chris Jackson is coming up to Goddard's.
Again, if he's managed to save any fuel behind... Oh, no, yeah, he's going in.
Yeah, he's in, but that is bang on two-stop strategy.
Adam's binned it at Melbourne, or been helped round. His car doesn't look touched, so I think that's on his own. That'll be under braking and probably brake bias with old tyres. Is he going to pit? Yes, he is. So it'll be worth seeing that again, because I think that'll be him all on his lonesome. Oh, wheel spin that was.
Yeah, it
Not
looked
brake
like
bias.
looked like he had 2 bites going in.
Yeah. Oh, pit road is a very busy place to be. Chris Jackson, Adam Wright, Bob Woodhouse, Jimmy Wilson, Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, we are bang on that two-stop timing now. 40 minutes in.
Simon Trendel is your effective race leader at the moment. And 22 seconds back from him is Marco Namela. And we'll have to see exactly where everybody else piles out of pit road compared to him.
Well, it looks like Marco's got about 17.5 seconds on Chris Jackson.
Right. So he's got to eke himself out an entire pit stops worth of time by the time he comes to do his third one, right?
Yes.
Right.
And bear in mind, Chris Jackson will now be on brand new tyres.
Yep, and eat into that gap, yep.
But that's the game.
Tyler Newitt getting a move done on Bob Woodhouse. That's Jamie Wilson going extra wide there. Was that a wheelie bin that was passing him as well? Yeah, it was, yeah. And then Bob Woodhouse after that. Everybody's overtaking everybody all of a sudden. Sam, can you keep up? That's a bit mad at the minute, isn't it? Crazy. Oh, that was twitchy from Miro. Oh, I thought he was a goner then.
Okay, Simon Trendel and Tony Klusterman in the pit. So now we can watch that gap properly back to Chris Jackson.
And Ryan Walker is in the pits now as well.
So
For his second visit.
17.8 seconds at the moment.
Right then, we'll keep a watching brief on that one because that's going to be very significant. He needs to get 2 of those. Actually, he needs more than 2 of those, doesn't he? Pit lane time's around about a minute. Ooh, door to door. It's Jamie Wilson and Bob Woodhouse. 2 wide through Craner curves. Clyde, would you?
Yeah, you can do it. There's plenty of room, but you've got to get yourself sorted out before you get to McLean's. Well, really, you got to get yourself sorted out before old Hairpin. But even old Hairpin, you if you can find some grip on the outside, you're okay.
Yeah. So Jamie's now going to set off after that wheelie bin in front of him, which is Vincent Skillbeck. He's not far ahead. He's only 2.5 seconds, so you can see him in the shot there. And Jamie pitted some 8 laps after Vincent, so he should have good tyres to pull him onto the back of that car.
Chris Jackson only 0.2 quicker than Marco Namela on that last lap. Because the other thing to take into consideration, Pete, with Marco doing a 3-stopper, he can go flat out.
Yes.
And take less fuel. If the two stoppers are having to fuel save. Obviously, they can't go flat out, and they're taking a full tank.
Yeah, and if Marco's got himself some clear track ahead of him, which it looks like he's got quite a lot of. Let's have a look down the main straight here. He's got loads of time in front of him.
Yeah, I can't see
nice.
that.
No, nice clear track. What's Chris got in front of him? Let's see if we can see an equivalent shot in a second.
There's definitely a car in front. I just see something dive through.
Yeah, so that's Ivan in front of him.
Yeah.
And there's possibly somebody else, and then of course there's Andrew Hoffman if he manages to catch him before the next pit stop. So with traffic in the way, it might slow Chris down a little as well.
Yeah, Ivan certainly won't be in the way. We've seen in the past he will commit suicide to get out of the way.
As Chris Jackson does a 127.8. So that was a second faster than Marco Namela, roughly.
Well, the gap is still 17.2 seconds. Oh no, hang on, that's just shot down to 16.3.
Yeah. So is Chris bearing down on Ivan. And yes, you are absolutely right. He parked it in a different postcode. Good man, Ivan. Not getting involved. Andrew Hoffman is in the pits for his third visit, so that will be a car not in Chris Jackson's way between himself and Marco Namela. Oh, it's busy here, look. This is Ant Woodward with Tyler in very close company, and Tony's not that far away.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Adam Wright Simon Trendel gap at the moment, just to see if there was any holding up of one driver or the other, but it doesn't seem to be.
No, I mean they're quite far apart now, really, aren't they? Because of Adam's spin. The business is on in the middle of the pack here, from kind of Vincent back over for about 6 or 7 places. They're all very close together.
3 drivers into double figures now on incident points.
Ooh, it's getting a bit tasty back there then. And of course, I'm not looking at that, but you don't know how many Marco's picking up, do you? Because going fast sometimes means you pick up more off tracks as you cut corners and things like that.
Yeah.
So he might not be out of the woods. He might have a 16.5 second lead, but worth nothing if he has to do a drive-through.
Let me have a look.
No,
he's doing all right at the moment.
Okay.
He's doing alright, and to show you how far off SDK is, it shows me 17 incident for Marco. He's nowhere near that. Just yeah.
I've got the same number as well. That's just silly.
Mr. Hoffman has just quit.
Right. It's a shame. Again, he had pace. We see this, don't we? We see him doing really good lap times, but in the race condition... I mean, he came 10th the other week, didn't he? For one of the races.
Yes, he did.
Just needs to get his consistency sorted out and he'll be fine. And he's on the chat there saying, not happy Jan. Who's Jan?
No idea.
Is that angry typing for Jamie?
Oh, is it the J's next to the M?
Man, could be. Could be. Needed someone to translate Australian for us.
Detective Whiting is on the case.
Turn your screen 180 degrees.
What?
Turn your screen 180 degrees to make it down under. Oh, come on. Don't
Yeah.
let me explain the joke. It's not a joke anymore.
Tony Klusterman sneaking onto the back of this battle, Pete.
Yeah, he's been stalking them for a while, even before the pit stops. This is about as close as he's been, really. He let Andrew Hoffman through, actually, which put him back a little ways, even though he was using his toe for a while. But then all the pit stops happened, of course, and now he's starting to claw back on.
Well, that lead gap's not coming down anymore.
No, it's well, in fact, if anything, it was working towards Marco's favour, but now it's absolutely level in terms of lap times. I think you've got a series of drivers here who are both taking it easy for fuel and for incidents, and then other drivers who are probably more comfortable just racing it out. Tyler racing it out there, gets alongside. Ooh, into Gallows, but gets all of that wheel spin that's so common for that corner. That was a massive handful of wheel spin there for Tyler. I'm sure if we did have an inset picture, he'd have been soaring away at the steering wheel like he was trying to get through the trunk of a tree. And the switch here to the Bob Woodhouse Jamie Wilson fight. They are closing in on Vincent Skilbeck quite quickly, actually. They were half a second quicker, both of them, than Vincent last time round. His tyres are significantly older than theirs, which is going to have a massive amount to do with it.
Yeah, Adam Wright not really making any impression on Simon Trendel at the moment.
No, and those gaps at the front are quite big, aren't they?
Well, that lead gap's actually going out again.
Oh, yes it is. For some reason, Chris Jackson was half a second slower last time round.
Yeah, if Marco is on a true three stopper, he's going to be pitting again in about 6 minutes.
Okay. And then it all depends on where he comes out, if indeed he is on a three stopper. He must be. I mean, he pitted 6 laps before Chris Jackson.
Yeah, if he's doing a two stopper, mate, he's got some amazing fuel saving to do.
And Tyler's got some amazing get rid of that slowdown to do. He picked it up in old hairpin. So that shuffled him back behind Tony. Tony will be giggling away in his helmet there. Free pass. Tyler's back on him pretty quickly. Ooh, no, he's not, because he's just just left most of the rubber on his rear tyres on the tarmac back there.
Okay, lead gap has stabilised again. About 17.5 seconds.
He is pulling it out then, isn't he? Because I think it was 17.6 seconds when Chris came out of the pits, or there or thereabouts.
Yeah, 17.8 wasn't it?
8,
when we first looked at it. Got down to 16.2. And that has now gone out another second again.
Mm. That was a good line through there by the look of it from Tyler. He got very, very close to the back of Tony's car. Tony's gone wide here at Melbourne, but has Tyler got any grip in those rear tyres? Not much, has he?
No, he seems to have used them up fairly quickly, doesn't he? And he's still, that was Tyler doing a 2-stop, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think so.
He's still got about 25 minutes to go till his next stop.
It's when he's taking the shallower line into Melbourne. I just think he's clearly dropping too slow for his tyres, isn't he? Because then he's putting his foot on the gas and it's just lighting him up.
Yeah, I think Tyler's possibly got the pace over these two, but just can't do anything with it.
Yeah. I think he's through the high-speed corners. I think he's got it all sorted out. It's the low-speed exits that are causing him all the trouble. I mean, he's really fast through the S's here. This chicane. He's got a great line through it. And again, he's pretty much caught up with Tony by the time he gets to Melbourne. It's out of this corner, particularly, and the next one, where he's just struggling to be able to put the gas in. That one was pretty good, actually, though. Just to prove me wrong. Thanks, Tyler. Takes a big sweeping line into Goddard's to get a decent exit, and then wheel spin again. Not as bad that time, though. He's still with Tony. And then through all these faster turns, he's definitely got the speed over the two cars in front of him. Takes wider entries into the turns, which will help him. Oh, he had a good look then, but Tony moved just enough to make him think again.
It's too much of a short shoot, that is.
Yeah, you want it twice that length, don't you, to make something decent of it?
Just to get a nose up the inside and, you know, put the options in the other driver's hand.
Yeah. Look at this, though. He's brilliant out of that chicane. I think he's going to have a go here into Melbourne. Can he get it stopped? And more importantly, can he get back on the gas without wheel spin? That was pretty good that time. Covers him off. That's good. Nice overtake.
Okay, I'm expecting Marco Namela in this lap or the next one.
Okay. Marco's catching a car here. It's an NQR car. Not sure which one it is. Oh, it's Nikolai. Thank you, race director. So he might want to pit before he actually catches him.
No,
Or not.
he's got a lap.
Or not.
Right, so if he doesn't pit on this lap, there's something funky going on.
Okay. Well, we've seen funky in pit stop turns from Marco Namela before, haven't we? So
Yes,
he likes to keep us guessing.
on numerous occasions.
Yeah. So we've just cleared the hour mark, so we are literally halfway through this race. Pit lane remains empty for now. Everybody's got a little bit going on in that acceleration zone out of Melbourne hairpin now. And then this one seems to catch the odd car out. I think Clyde just fell off his desk seat.
No, I just had to stand up because my petite and pert bottom has gone to sleep.
Is there somebody else in that room with you?
I've still got eyes on Marco Namela, so I will shout if he goes in the pits.
Cool. Whereas these guys are closing up on one another now. They've definitely caught up with staying out again, right? Okay. More surprises from the Namela.
Stretching this one a little bit. So I carry on with my glutamus maximus massage.
Nobody wants to know that. Loads of people just threw up. Jamie's getting proper interested now. This is going to be on soon if he gets a decent line through the S's here. That wasn't bad, but Vincent's line was just as good.
That is one of the drawbacks of broadcasting naked, I suppose.
And all those people were now sick again.
Webcam next time.
Oh dear. Have to be after the watershed. Barbara Woodhouse will have something to say. Right, Vincent is in the pits. Miro is in the pits. So there's 2-3 stoppers.
Surely Namela's got to come in this time.
Well, his original pit stop was really short. It was only 23 seconds in the pit box.
Yeah, but he's not running the tank dry, is he? So
no, unless he chooses to on this occasion to get himself a super short one at the last.
Yeah, there is that tactic as well, because he's staying out again. So on the assumption that he could do 40 minutes, he could in theory do another 7 minutes before coming in.
Okay. That'd still bring him in before all the other cars, obviously, because they'll have fuel to keep going. Last few laps, Chris Jackson's been a little bit quicker. Just a little bit. Bob Woodhouse still trying to get on terms with Jamie Wilson here. He's not managing it just yet. These two swap places pretty much from the start of the race. 8 seconds back down the road from these two is Ant Woodward, who is up 7 places from the start. He's the most forward-moving car.
Four drivers now in double figures on the incident points.
Oh, there's going to be some very tentatively making their way around some of these.
Namela is in. Namela is in.
Right,
he's on 22 on his DK.
Yeah.
Which is totally wrong. Remember?
I've got 26, so the two SDKs can't even answer the same question with the same answer.
Nice.
So this gives Chris Jackson back in the lead.
Yeah, and Tyler is crawling all over the back of Van Woodward at the moment. We've seen what he did with Tony a few laps ago. His line through the S's is excellent, but matched there by Ant Woodward. And then this is where he's looked a little out of shape. And very, very calm onto the gas. And Tyler a little bit twitchy, little bit.
Yeah, Marco Nemela just got out ahead of Ant Woodward. Of Adam Wright. Which he'll be pleased about, because Adam could have taken some getting past.
Yeah, he can be a very wide car when he wants to. We've seen that in other leagues, haven't we? So
yeah, but yet again, Marco has got looks like he's got a lot of clear track in front of him.
that may have been part of the bargain he struck with himself. Get himself a decent area of track with no other cars so that he can not be delayed. You would think that an overtake was imminent here with Tyler, but again, his back end of that car is very tail happy, isn't it? It wags like a happy dog.
Yeah, but it's been like that since the start of the race, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's just the way he hangs it out, I guess. He's right on him now, though. He's nearly pushing him through the S's. But Ant's line was very good as well. Does a little pantomime effort.
Yeah, he likes that little fake there, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Make him look away from the track. Better line through there from Tyler for sure, or rather he wasn't carrying the same speed through, so he got turned quicker. Probably about nullified each other there. Super close again now though.
Marco Nemela about to finish his first flying lap after his second stop. And he does a 27.9.
This is going to be proper interesting when everybody else pits the cars.
Well, a little over 10 minutes until the two stoppers go for their second stop.
We saw a couple come in early last time, didn't we? Or I think we may have already actually seen them pit already, because that was Vincent and I think Andrew Hoffman, but Andrew's out. So, oh, that's wide from Tyler. Bit of dirt. Look at that. He's put himself back towards Tony. Just one little error like that, it sets you right back, doesn't it?
It does, but you can see that Tyler has got the pace, because he closes that gap up again,
yes,
and fairly quickly.
Really twitchy under brake in a few of these cars now. Into Melbourne again. Carefully onto the gas for everybody.
Yeah, I think all three of them twitched coming out there.
Yeah, they did, yeah. Tony's kind of got the bit between his teeth again now.
Yeah, well, that'll help Ant. If Tony
yeah.
can start putting some pressure on Tyler, that'll relieve some of the pressure that Ant's been under for the last God knows how many laps.
300 laps. Marco and Emil are doing a 1:28.08. It's a second faster at least than everybody else. So he's
Chris Jackson just did a 29.1.
Right. So a bit more gap eked out for Marco and Emil. So do you think this is a different type of Nemela effect, or is this just a three-stop strategy?
I think this is just the three-stop strategy. And like I say, the fact that Marco can run flat out, whereas Chris is probably having to save, probably only a smidgen, but still having to save. But it's going to be interesting. You know what's going to happen. One's on three-stop, one's on two-stop. And after the final pit stop, they're going to be on the same piece of track.
Yeah, pretty much. If I was at all good at working these things out, like some are.
Well, I think that the ball is definitely in Chris Jackson's court at the moment, because Marco is the one that has got to try and pull out that big gap to make sure he's either still in front or at least in touch when he's done his third stop.
Yes.
And that's when we're going to know what's going on.
Yeah, and just looking back at this fight again, so Tyler's clearly got tons and tons of speed. He was on the brakes coming up through Starkeys, which is unusual, and now he's rammed right under the boot lid of Ant Woodward. Thought he was actually going to do it into the S's there. He's decided against that. He had a good drive until he went sideways. Tries to sell him a puppy there. Oh, and look at the wheel spin again.
It's as if, you know, when he...
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Ant Woodward, all out of shape. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it's as if when he comes round Melbourne, you want him to open the steering up sooner.
Yes. But it's on a lot of corners now, isn't it? You see him there in Redgate, he did the same thing. So, still no visitors to pit road from the two stoppers. They pitted over
A little bit early.
2 laps. Yeah.
Yeah, about another 6 minutes.
We should get Ivan in fairly soon, because he was last in on lap 25.
Ooh, hello. Is it a done deal this time?
It would appear.
He's got to go round the outside.
Good camera switch. He's going to get the cut back here. Oh, he would have done if he hadn't got that little bit of wheel spin again. Ooh.
desperately wants some new boots, doesn't he?
He kind of does, yeah.
I think he possibly wrecked these on lap 1 of this run.
This might be enough, though. That off track there from Ant Woodward might be just the ticket for him. No, he's back on the brakes at Starkey's again. Don't want to do that too much. Tony's right there.
I think possibly that little dab of brakes at Starkey's is maybe to settle the car from cleans.
Right. It's good through there again, but not near enough this time. Not even for a little show. Ooh. Ant was very slow on the apex and caught both cars behind him out. Almost had to stop it. I don't know what the track temperature is. Does Race Director know? Mid-20s. That's not too hot. Thanks, Sam. Tony closed up really quickly there. Into old hairpin. Gonna have a good drive heading up the hill here. Oh, he's gone wide though, Tony, look. Isn't it funny, they get underneath the boot lid and all sorts of differences happen to them.
Yeah.
This car is absolutely fascinating. If anybody's watching this after the event, get yourself in this car. It's just everything you need for racing.
So Marco Nemela still lapping quicker than Chris Jackson, although only about 0.4 of a second on that lap. He's actually catching Simon Trendel, even though he's done an extra pit stop.
Yeah, there he is. Adam Wright's not far behind him. Oh, is that Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ryan. I was going to say.
Adam's nearly 9 seconds behind him, and he was right behind him when Marco came out of the pits.
Right.
But we're pretty much into 2-stop window now.
Oh, got a good drive from Tyler and from Tony there. They're both going to have a bit of a run here. Tyler fakes it. Tries to get himself a good run through the S's. Sideways again, but it's worked for him that time.
Very interesting, Sam, to have an onboard lap with Tyler and just watch for all of his counter steers.
Yeah. Here we go. This will probably be the first of them. There's one. Two. We count them up, see how many we get. He's had a few bits of trouble around Redgate. Another one. It's lively, isn't it? The car when you've got these challenging Donington corners to go at. Lots of curb from him.
And lots of corrections.
Yeah. That one just goes on forever, doesn't it, McLean's?
He was basically turning left all the way round that right-hander.
Yeah. He's great through there, though. Look at that. Oh, if only he'd kept that straight somehow.
That was a full armful of opposite lock.
It was brilliant. Yeah, in his report book, his teacher will be saying, more rear grip, please.
Yeah, bang on cue, and Woodward in for his second and final stop.
Tony is not wanting to wait, look. That was a whole load of pressure for Tyler. That might be a slowdown right there. There's a lot of grass underneath that Mustang.
I think that was... Yeah, there you go.
There we are. Oh, and that's Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson in his second and final stop. Now it's hammer time for Namela.
Chris Jackson will have just been able to see him turning into Redgate there.
We do have a driver on 14 incident points.
Oof. Right. And he's still on the jacks. There he goes. He's away. Oh. And that is Jamie Wilson and Bob Woodhouse.
Bob Woodhouse, yes.
They pitted on the same lap the last time, if I remember rightly. Pretty sure that Tyler will be in this go as well, because he was in that group. There he is.
He will be glad to get those tyres off. Another 8 to 10 minutes before the 3 stoppers are in again. And that's where it all shakes down.
Tell you what, Marco Namela's car looks absolutely rock solid going through some of those tighter turns. Look at that.
There's not a lot of extra tyre usage going on, is there?
No, no. Super smooth, look. And you consider the times that he's doing, you think he's going to be hanging it out all over the place. And he's just not. It's like the Stig, isn't it, when he's playing those like learn languages things on on Top Gear. It's that sort of thing going on, isn't it? Although I think with Marco, it's probably some form of heavy metal or something. Maybe the Spice Girls.
Compare this to the onboard lap we did with Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in tyres, isn't there, obviously? Because Marco's not been in... he wasn't that long ago in the pits, I suppose. But it looks so calm. It looks like he's on a you know, a jolly out in the country.
Just no counter steering at all.
No. And like you say, he's just able to blast it around the track, isn't he? Tyler's in the pits.
28.5 seconds now, the lead.
And his last stop was for how long? Where is he? I can't even find him. There. His last stop was for... Well, mine says 0 pit lane time, so that's brilliant. Thank you, SDK.
Tony Klusterman in the pits. There's a difference there that I've just noticed. Marco Nemela's first flying lap out of the pits are 27.9. Chris Jackson's first flying lap out of the pits are 28.5.
Okay. Is that measuring the fuel, do you think?
Could be.
Do you think there'd be a point where Chris is kind of caught up with his own delta and is able to floor it? Ant Woodward. And then Tony Klusterman out of the pits and round the first turn. Ant Woodward's quite a way behind. Sorry?
I probably missed something, but Tony was fighting with Ant, right?
He was. But
and
Ant Woodward was in the pits for 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Yeah, pit was longer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was, 15 seconds longer. Odd.
I also think there's a drive of shame coming up.
And there's been a drive of shame.
Have we already missed it?
Yep.
Who got it?
I was sure I saw Tyler went through the pits first, just after Ant. And then I saw him back in, and I wasn't able to find the pit stop number. Well, it said 2, but in fact it did a drive of shame. He's on 15 incidents. Well done, Tyler.
I did think I heard him say something about him being in for a drive of shame, but I did the same as you, Sam, and I looked at SDK and it said 2 stops, and I was like, alright then.
Yeah. I thought I missed something, and yeah, I had a deeper look, and Tyler is the first one, but probably not the last one.
Yeah,
no.
we have a driver on 13, 12, 11, 10. And we've still got over half an hour's racing to go.
Yeah, just looking at the behaviour of Tyler's car, it's looking a lot more grounded and grippy again now, so that's good. Marco and Chris did identical times last lap. And so did Simon. They all did a 1:28.56. That's weird.
Yeah, Marco is obviously at the end of his second stint. He'll be coming in any time in the next 5 minutes or so.
And Vincent's in. That's his third.
Scheduled stop.
Yeah. Oh, and Sam, I've just figured it out. So every time Marco Nemela goes past pit lane exit, he cuts into the pit lane exit road. SDK is counting it as an incident because he's now on 30 on my screen. And Tyler's found himself a Vincent to race with.
Yeah, Vincent came out of the pits in front of him, didn't he? So.
Yep. But Tyler's done well here because he's got. Oh no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Because of his drive-through, of course, he's behind where he was.
Nikolai behind him.
Yeah.
Right, Right, time for me to switch my attention to race leader Marco Namela. Get ready to call his pit stop.
Do we think he's going to be fighting back towards the front, or do you think he's going to pop out of the pits just millimetres in front of him or something?
No, I do think he will be behind Chris, but the first 3 or 4 laps he takes time out of Chris hand over fist. So I suppose it just depends on how far behind he is.
Yeah. And how long till you expect him to visit?
Any time now. I expect he will eke this one out, provided he doesn't get held up, to try and make that last stop as short as possible.
Well, he's not really got anybody in front of him on track at the minute, has he? So
yes, he has.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's got Bob Woodhouse right in front of him at the moment, slowing him up a little bit, but he's passed now. Bob gets well out of the way. But that could be a slowish lap. I say slowish, it was a 29.0.
Still better than most.
Yeah. Next car up the road is one of the Team Chimera cars.
That'll be Jamie then.
But he may be in the pits before he gets to him. Tyler's still going sideways, I see.
Yeah, and Seed in a position there.
No, actually, I think he may have been just moving out of the way.
Oh, right.
That was Chris Jackson going past him. Okay, Marco's still got a clear track.
Yeah, Miro Hransky's in the pits at the minute
If he's
for
got
his third.
fuel to stay out again. Yeah, he's staying out.
Yep. So Chris's time was slightly faster than his for the last couple of laps, which you'd expect because Chris will have better rubber.
Yeah, it's just holding at around 29 seconds, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah. Chris Jackson's got the fastest lap of the race. 1:27.83. I suppose Marco could have a pop at that on his first racing lap on new tyres next time round.
Still 4/10 away from our lap record. He's round Melbourne, as you can see on your camera. Let's see if he goes in this time. He's still got that clear track in front of him.
Yeah, so he might be tempted to stay out.
He's staying out.
Yeah.
Every extra lap he ekes out, it's short of pit stop. Wonder if he's tempted not to take tyres on the last stop. Surely that would be suicide.
Yeah, I don't know what the overlap is with tyre change and fuel. It's done at the same. 9 seconds, right? Okay.
Thereabout.
You getting your homework in for when you're racing next season?
No, I just... It's the time they take in real life, so I just assume it's the same in iRacing. I actually never measure exactly what the time is.
Oh, Tyler sideways again. He's now taking the shortcut. I've dropped him down behind Nikolai.
And that's Vincent that's caught up with Ant Woodward.
Yeah, it was Tyler, wasn't it, in this sandwich?
Yeah. That's Chris Jackson behind them.
Okay, now in.
Right, let's see what happens
now
here.
Now we'll find out where we stand.
Well, that's Chris Jackson there behind these two, who are annoying him right now. Because they're covering the whole track.
Yeah. That didn't give Chris any help whatsoever, did it?
No, and it's still going on. And they're still too wide. Having their own race, so, you know, fair enough.
Marco is taking tyres.
Okay. And he's about to get overtaken. And he's not off the jacks yet.
No, it's still on the jacks. Now he's down and away.
Okay.
Right. Let's see what the gap is, and let's see what he can do about it.
Yeah, it won't get collected by that NQR car that's...
About 10 seconds. No, it's shut up now. There you go. 29 seconds.
No.
Nah, I need to be
10
updated.
seconds.
Yeah, wait for the next...
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
sorted itself out yet, is it?
On the live timing, which is better than what shows the timing tower, it says 10 seconds.
Well, if it's 10 seconds, it's doable. There you go. 9 seconds, it's updated.
Yeah, it's 23 minutes worth of racing
This
to get 9
is
seconds.
Game on.
Even more now that's happened.
Yes.
And Marco and Amela might be smelling blood, because I think that'll be a slowdown for Chris Jackson, because he took too much of the curbs.
Yeah, I think he's just took it, hasn't he?
Yeah, or still slightly working it off maybe, but should be back on it now. And where is Marco? There he is in the background, look. One straight away. Not a straight away, by the way, because I know that winds you up. He is one straight away.
There's no such word anymore. We got rid of it.
Oh yeah, we put it in room 101. Garage 101, I should say. When's our next Poopcast?
It is the 29th of this month.
Excellent.
2 weeks tomorrow, in fact. And we are trying to get you a very, very, very special guest.
All right.
And maybe we will hear the views of a sim racer's wag.
I'm guessing I already know the answer to the question of who that is, so fair enough.
Oh, there's an aircraft. See, that's why I can't race in sim racing. Too many things to look at. Balloons and planes and all sorts. Spiders. Ants.
Am I reading that right? He's halved the gap already?
Yes.
Right. And Chris is still stuck behind these two who's squabbling.
This is really not helping Chris's cause.
That might, because that's a good run he's got there. Nope. So we might be on for a rather dramatic end to this race.
Yeah, and you can't blame the two in front because they are racing for position.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you know, when Marco comes up to these, he's going to get exactly the same.
Yep, absolutely.
Gap is 4.5 seconds.
That's a lunge on his European teammate there. I'm sure it was all well communicated in their chat. That puts Ant Woodward back into the clutches of Vincent.
Ooh, was there a touch there, or was it just a...
I think it was a bit of wheel spin.
Double jink.
Yeah.
Under 20 minutes to go.
Tony Klusterman through on Bob Woodhouse. 4th position. 6th place to Tony there. These two doing a bit of scrapping. Marco Nemela, excuse me, still lapping faster than Chris Jackson at the moment. Although that's probably because he had to feather his way through the other two last time round, wasn't it? So I'm thinking that more laps have passed since, but they haven't.
Yeah, Marco Nemela almost on these two now. You can see his target, 3 cars in front.
How's he going to flash at him with black headlights?
Finish telepathy.
Yeah. I mean, these two are back to scrapping as well, so... Oh, Vincent. What happened there?
I don't know.
Is that a black screen or something? Because that was weird. It's almost like he didn't know where the track was.
Sat-nav fell off the table.
So it'll be interesting to see how Marco goes about navigating his way through these two. Or maybe he'll just do that. Actually, Vincent gave him a football pitch's worth of room.
Yeah, to be fair, Marco did show his intentions very early, didn't he?
Yeah. And likewise there,
Ooh.
Vincent's trying to capitalise and making it work.
That surprised me from Ant. I thought he may have played the team game there.
Yeah. He might still retain the position here because he's got the optimal line into Redgate, and he has done.
16 minutes, 3.2 seconds. Game on.
I think it really will be as well. He didn't get as much resistance as Chris between those two, did he?
No, he didn't.
Ant Woodward's going to get a red pen letter from his team boss.
Right, let's have a look at these incident points, shall we? Number of drivers in double figures, but only one driver, one spin away from a driver's game.
I bet these two are thinking, are you joking? Marco Namela just drives through them and just rockets off up down up the road. There's your plane again. Well, it's on my screen. Oh, there it is. It's a good showing from Ant Woodward this time, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Not from Vincent. He took a really weird line through the crane of curves there. Super wide. We've not said much about Simon Trendel, but he's in third place. He's just in a world of his own, 20 seconds in front and behind, really.
Yeah, he's had a very good but quiet race, hasn't he?
Adam Wright in fourth place in a similar situation, no real threats around him. And Jamie Wilson's got himself some clean air in terms of position with competitors. Oh, is Vincent going to have a good look here? He's seen what Marco and Chris did.
Yeah, but he had to park it, didn't he?
Yeah, he nearly stopped completely. Trying to keep control of it. So what we're down to here, 3 seconds.
3 seconds and 13 minutes. There's the visible gap.
I mean, he is absolutely flying, isn't he? I mean, both of them are, really. You look at the lap times and they're head and shoulders faster than everybody else. There's only Adam Wright at the moment who's doing equivalent times.
Well, since Marco Namela pitted, 27.7, 28.2, 28.3, then he had a 29.1 when he was stuck behind those two, not for very long. Then he's gone back to 28.5, 28.7.
Perfect, isn't it, really?
And
oh, Vincent.
Yeah, I was just going to say Marco's ragging it as well because he's not as smooth as he was.
All right. He's just taking another 0.2 out of him. He's going to have to work on getting more each lap than that.
Does Chris Jackson have to save anymore?
I don't think so, not looking at the time.
All of his saving.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the steering wheel. There was a bit of counter steer going up the hill there through Starkey's. That was good though. McLean's.
Yeah, this is either a really good lap by Marco or a mediocre lap by Chris because he's got back almost half a second on this lap. Although that's now stretching out a touch.
Yeah, I think Marco screwed up the S's a bit. Excuse me. And had to correct the car fairly significantly. Lost him a bit of time. He's taken 3/10 out of him again, though. More like half a second, actually.
Under 10 minutes.
Oh, and Chris is fighting the car quite a lot in the slower corners. But then that's the way he drives normally, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder what Adanak is
I'm sorry, what?
on his helmet.
Is that like an Eknalubna?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from Adanak.
So that was a very good lap, I think, from Marco.
Yeah, another 4/10.
Oh, and this is happening now, again. But Ant's keeping that inside line each time. See, Vincent's line through that section there is really good, but it doesn't seem to benefit him in terms of time to Ant.
No. These two up the front are a little bit more even on this lap.
Vincent's trying a completely different line there. Thought he was going for an ice cream. That's benefited him by the time he gets to the other hairpin, though, so... He's trying to make Ant's line shallow into Redgate, isn't he? But it's not quite working.
You can see it on your screens, folk. The lead gap is under a second and a half now.
And Ivan steps aside for both of them. Different lines into Melbourne. Look at that. Chris is really shallow into it. Marco sweeps around it.
I think Ivan should be cast into Suicide Squad 3. Although I've not seen him hoon his car this week trying to get out of the way, so
no, true.
Step forward.
I don't know what just happened, but it must have all been at Melbourne hairpin, but Marco's shaved a bag full of time off there. We're down to 1 second now, which is slipstream territory.
Yeah, and just over 5 minutes. Obviously, Marco will have the fresher tyres but We always say it, don't we, Pete? Catching is one thing.
Track position's a lot round here as well.
Exactly.
In the background, Vincent is still scrapping with Ant Woodward, but still not making it happen. I'll keep an eye on that while we watch these two.
Chris is going to have to make that. Ooh,
that's not going to help.
Wrong.
That is not going to help.
Wrong going in.
He's going to get
slowed all wide now.
I don't know whether he's got a slowdown, you know, because that was a lot of extra curb. Maybe not. He'd have been slowed down a lot more than that by now.
So two totally different approaches to this race, and they're on the same piece of tarmac at the end.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I love this. Closing under braking. So this is the bit now, isn't it? How'd you get round?
Well, it's not so much how you get round. I'm more into how do you defend it.
Right, okay, yeah.
He's got to make his car wide. He's got to cover off any possible chance of a dive bomb. He needs to park that Vauxhall on every apex.
Woo! Was that contact? I think it might have been, because even Marco's braking to keep him ahead.
Backed off, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Have we got an overtake or an incident? They're a bit far away for an overtake, so
wheels on the grass, and the car goes round. And we're about to get another drive of shame.
Oh, really? Oh, look at that. Chris's car's grip at the rear is not great, as you'd expect. I mean, he's got older tyres compared to Marco's. So around we go again, and we've got how long? 2.5 minutes.
We're going to get one more lap after this one.
And that was Vincent dropping behind Nikolai. And Vincent's in. Oh, he's doing the drive of shame. sorry, I've just caught up. Has your dog just got a lot smaller?
No, that's outside.
Ah.
Sounds like somebody's got hold of its testicles.
Where's your dog right now? Dave's too lazy to get up though, isn't he?
They are both asleep on the sofa.
Right, this might be on around these hairpins now. He's not going to get many opportunities, so that shallow line, which is Chris's, that's not a defensive tactic, that's just the line he takes. Oh, and a bit of wheel spin from Marco doesn't help him up the hill. Marco decides he's going to take the A1 route through there.
Chris wagged the tail, so this will be the final lap.
I think I saw the flagman giving it some. So yeah, we'll stick with this battle because, well, it's the closest one anyway, so. It's all a bit even through there, but usually Marco gets a good drive up this hill. He has done against others. Fairly even though, he is closing. Massively under braking.
I think it's the hairpins or nothing.
I do as well, yeah, and Chris's line into it is automatically defensive. It's not even the defensive line, it's just the line he takes, so he's kind of worked that into his favour. was a lot of curve from Chris, but I think he'll get away with that. Marco's trying to square off the corner. It's not going to work for him.
No, great defending from Chris Jackson.
Yeah, I think Marco wanted to cut back there and it wasn't on. Because Chris kind of stopped it where he didn't want him to.
Chris Jackson takes home the win with Marco Namela in second. Tom Trendel's going to come home in a lonely third place, but he won't mind that. Adam Wright coming home fourth. Jamie Wilson is going to come home in fifth position.
Yep, nice finish for Jamie.
Tony Klusterman in sixth. Miro still wagging the tail.
Yeah, Miro came sideways around the final corner.
Rob Woodhouse is our final car to cross the line, Pete.
All right then. Well, that was a race full of drama right to the very end. And like you say, a triple stop and a double stop, and they turn out on the same bit of track at the very end. Crazy.
It's amazing how it happens, isn't it? And the finishing positions are going to say that the two-stop was the better option, but it goes to show, right at the start, the tactical size endurance races are fantastic.
Yeah, they are. Right, I'll run us through the finishing order in 1 second. There we go, just reset that and then get to here. Have the scores up again, please, Mr. Race Director, sir. Thank you. So your race winner for this 2-hour Enduro event at Donington was Chris Jackson for NQR North America. No time at all behind him, really. It was Marco Namela for Glacier, I'm going to go with. Simon Trendel finished third, and the bottom step of the podium for Team Chimera. Adam Wright finished just outside the top three in fourth for BSTV Esports Green. Jamie Wilson was fifth for Team Chimera. Tony Klusterman was sixth for NQR North America. Then the three NQR Europe cars in sixth, seventh, and eighth. That was Tony, then Bob Woodhouse, and then Ant Woodward. Ninth was Nikolai Bogatyrov. Sorry, I've got all that mixed up. Never mind. Vincent finished 10th for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. 11th was Ryan Walker for BSTV Esports Green. Miro Hrusky finished in 12th for PCS. Ivan Batmans finished 13th for Track Velocity Racing. And then Tyler Newitt, 14th for BSTV Esports Green. Andrew Hoffman for Pecky's Performance Racing was 15th. 16th was Stephen Phillips for Dashhound Racing. And Ryan James for Racing Forces rounded out the field in 17th. Right then, Clyde.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic race, and it had everything. But ultimately, you know, a fantastic defence there from Chris Jackson right at the end. So I'll tell you what, Pete. Let's bring him in for you.
Okay.
Hang on, everything stopped working.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, you'll have to do it yourself because I can't seem to do anything at the moment.
No worries. Good evening, Chris Jackson. How you doing?
Hey, how are we doing, guys?
Yeah, not bad. So, second off the grid and first back home. You had to work for that one.
Did I ever, man? It's kind of nice to see two different strategies play out. My race was pretty much going to plan until lap traffic was holding me up quite a bit, but that made it very exciting at the end. So a lot of fun. Props to Marco.
Yeah, I mean, we were debating, how far back he would come out behind you, and would there be enough time for him to make up the difference. And you got very heavily delayed by a wheelie bin and one of your own cars. Was that frustrating for you? I'm sure it was. I'm sure you just wanted to get out the way. But they seemed to delay you a little bit.
They definitely were, but they were racing. So,
Yeah.
they came out, and I had to try and wait for a mistake and hope I didn't get held up too much. I was being held up quite a bit. I made my own little mistake, and then it just, it made for a good finish, though. So it was all good.
Yeah, it really did. Fascinating. Right to Melbourne hairpin, really. Your line into there is very, very different from a lot of other cars. You take a naturally what you could call defensive line because you take it very shallow into the first phase of the turn, turn it on a sixpence, and then fire it back up the hill again.
Yeah, so I basically, yeah, you're right. Take a defensive line all the time. I find in this car that, and the way I have the car set up, that if I turn it into a bit of a V, rather than a sweeping corner, as long as I don't lock up too much, I can get around there pretty quick and shoot back out. Plus, it makes it very difficult to pass me there. So,
yeah, I was saying on the broadcast, just to make it clear to anybody watching, that is your normal line into there. It's not like you're going purposefully defensive. That's just how you take that turn. And we didn't see the waggy tail of your car or Marco's car compared to some of the others. Others were clearly struggling with rear grip, specifically out of corners. We saw a few twitches from you, but nothing concerning. Was it difficult to handle today?
You had to have it in the back of their mind that you couldn't go flat out the whole time, or else the end of the stint, your car would just be, driving on hockey pucks, and your ass will be all over the place. So, pretty much the first half of the stint, you're kind of driving to a fuel number and a number, being a bit easy on the car, knowing that you want something left on the back end to lean on to get a good average lap time.
Yeah, and did you manage to make the most of your time between your pit stops, i.e. were you running to a fuel number or were you running to a time?
Kind of both. I was just kind of lifting a little early, braking a bit early, and then coasting a bit in the corners. It was a slight fuel save for some. I didn't really have to fuel save. It was just the way I was driving the track. So it was mostly a tire management for me, but by doing that, you also save fuel.
And I think it was a season ago, or maybe more, I don't know. You also had a victory here in a sprint race, which was full of drama then as well. So a track that you must enjoy coming to. It certainly rewards you.
I definitely enjoy it. It was last season against Foggy, and I think he had about the same gap as Marco did on me there. So I had a bit of practice from last season on how to keep Foggy behind me, and I didn't know if I had the tires under me to do it to Marco. So it was a lot of fun, though.
Awesome stuff. That's going to do your championship standings. No damage whatsoever. You're going to stride a bit further ahead, or quite a lot further ahead. The next racing driver, i.e. one that's still in the series at the moment, is Adam. And he was already 250 points behind you, so this is only going to help. In terms of your head-to-head, you are head-to-head with Tony. So again, you'll have hauled ahead of him. Next time out is Road America, where you'll have to fend him off again in order to stay in the top of the head-to-head for the sprint feature. You go well there, don't you? We've seen you win there before.
I really like that track, but it is probably one of Tony's, if not his best track. I think Laguna Seca might be his best. So I expect a lot from Tony next race.
Right, okay. Well, tune in next time, folks, because that sounds tasty. Anybody you'd like to have a shout-out to before we let you go, Chris?
I definitely have to thank you guys for the broadcast. Everyone in the league who races, puts in the practice week in, week out. My wife, thank you very much for watching the kids today. Hello, Logan. Hello, Ella. Simability, the sponsor. Wild Rides, Ant sponsor, his company. So thanks again, guys. Cheers.
No problem at all. Our race winner tonight, Chris Jackson.
Right, everything's
you've got
working
control again.
Flushing. I am back in flush power. Okay, so next up, let's bring in our second place finisher, Marco Namela. Welcome to the booth, and welcome back to the front of the grid.
Thanks.
Nearly. Marco, that was absolutely fascinating. We said the tactical side of these endurance races are brilliant. We saw you with a 3-stop strategy, Chris with a 2-stop strategy, and at the end of the race, you're both on the same piece of tarmac. Anything you would have done differently to get that win?
I overfilled on my second stop, like way overfilled. So yeah, that was bad. Like my tactic was to have a light car because I didn't like the feel how it was in heavy. So I was even thinking if the track would be really hot, I would have done a 4-stop.
Wow.
Yeah. But like I say, what thought process goes into the decision behind a 2 or a 3-stop strategy on a race like this? Is it literally the way the car feels, heavy on fuel or light on fuel, or are you taking notes of lap times that you can do with the different fuel loads and then trying to project that forwards, to see what your ultimate race time is? What actually makes your mind up on what you're going to do?
I wasn't confident on my braking. Like when you do the 2-stop, you can't do that many mistakes, especially with the rear of the car. So I decided like I'm not that confident with the brakes and not sliding the rear. So I decided to do a 3-stop, and then I started calculating it. It's not even. I think it's if you don't have any traffic or anything, it's faster than the 2-stop.
Okay. Well, you're back racing again. Not a particularly good showing last time out, but I know you had some technical issues. But you're back with a bang this time. So rest of the season, I was going to say getting back up to speed, but you're already up to speed. Rest of the season, just some practice for you, and then hopefully doing a full season in season 12.
Yeah, next season is a full season. I have already prepped. I can get free time and I don't have to like bolt to jobs in weird places. So and yeah, I didn't. I had a technical difficulties on this one too. I actually the FOV went from 160 to 173, like in middle of the corner. I got slowed down from that corner because it went so, like I got dizzy.
Well, it's going to be good, and it's going to be interesting to see you do a full season. I said at the start of the broadcast, somebody said to me a couple of weeks ago that you are the fastest driver never to win the championship. So that's going to be your challenge for season 12. See if you can get that monkey off your back.
Or can I hold that title?
Okie dokie. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Thanks to you guys. Thanks to my team, Glacier Racing, getting the paint done. And thanks to all the drivers. And yeah, thanks.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Marco. Like I said, welcome back. Cracking result, cracking race, and hopefully we'll see you next time out.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, Pete. So next up for you, it's our third place driver, Simon Trendel.
Evening, Simon. A podium for you tonight.
Finally, I've completed a race without anything going wrong in this series.
Yeah. So we saw quite a bit of you at the start, actually, because you were in close company with Adam for quite a long time. Then Adam made himself a mistake and shuffled himself backwards. And then the rest of the race, you were kind of on your own. You had a bit of a bubble that you were driving in. Got your pit stops done with no problems and kept your head down and got yourself a real bag full of points.
Yeah, I was obviously battling with, well, not really battling with Adam. I was just sitting behind there saving fuel, to be honest. I was watching him tear up his front tyres a couple of times, but he got that under control eventually, and it's kind of annoying because I was expecting him to drop.
Right.
Although he did on the last lap, but on the in lap, which wasn't all that useful because by that point I'd already lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in a void otherwise. There's nothing really happened, and I suppose that's why I didn't make any mistakes for once.
No, and a healthy set of points for you, really, and for Team Chimera. Jamie didn't do too badly tonight either. He finished 5th, I think. Yep. So a good haul of points for the team overall. Any other standout moments for you in the race?
Yeah, watching Chris and Mark.
Did you get your launches sorted out this time?
Well, they're not as terrible as they used to be. So I'll take that as a win.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, what were you going to say about Chris and Marco?
No, just watching them battle and watching them slowly pull away from me by tenths a lap, which is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I could do there.
No, not at all. Road America, next visit for this series. It's usually one that a lot of people like. Is it one of your favourite tracks?
I don't mind it, but there is a knack to it which I sometimes don't pick up, and it takes me a while. So I don't know where I'll be on that one, but we'll find out. It should suit this car, and yeah, it's not as bad as Mosport, which is where the worst track I've driven this car on because I've struggled like hell there.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back on a podium step, hopefully slightly higher, for the races at Road America, and hopefully you can get that little knack of driving it for once in these cars. Any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go and celebrate with some simulated champagne?
Simulated champagne, yes. Yeah, everyone who turns up because it's great fun driving this car. They're a huge challenge. Obviously, this is the first time I've not made a mistake, which shows how difficult they are to drive. You guys for the broadcast and running the series, and the series sponsor because they're a great company for what they do. So there we go. Simability as well. There you go.
Awesome stuff. Our third place finisher tonight, Simon Trendel.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so we haven't got our fourth place finisher, Adam Wright. I believe he's a soaking wet mess. So let's bring in fifth place driver, Jamie Wilson. Welcome to the booth.
Hello. God, I wish we had a warning before you dragged this in. I've got wet now.
Were you mid swear word or something?
No, I was mid-sentence being delivered to me.
All right.
Excellent. So, Jamie, fifth place overall. Cracking result. Cracking result for the team as well, with Simon picking up a podium. But let's talk about the incident with Tony and Andrew Hoffman. Now, it looked on the broadcast anyway that I think Andrew got into Tony. Tony was then out wide. He had a couple of wheels on the grass. I'm presuming you was sort of mid-code brown thinking Tony was going to come back. You took avoiding action for Tony, and unfortunately Andrew Hoffman was already there. Looked like a racing incident to me, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, I didn't see. I obviously knew there was contact before that. Can't miss that. I was directly behind it, but I couldn't see the nature of it. So I couldn't see if it was into the bumper, into the wheel, or into like just ahead of the wheel. I couldn't sort of judge the trajectory of it. And the way Tony's car reacted on the exit, it looked like he was having a fight with it. So I thought, oh, he's got suspension damage or something. He's on two wheels on the grass in a traction zone. There's every chance he's going to spin across to the right. So I instinctively, this wasn't even conscious thought, I just instinctively had to jink to the right ever so slightly to give myself that lane, because even without suspension damage, we were going to be 3 wide because Tony had been slowed as a result of it. And Hoff is a bit upset, but and saying, look at the replay. But I mean, all I can think is that he could have been blindsided to that with my car in the way at that point, so he couldn't really get a good judge of it or something like that, because we were about to go 3 wide, whatever happened. Tony was kind of comfortably on the left, as you know, or not comfortably if you had suspension damage. I'm not to know. I had to give myself the lane in the middle, and he didn't accommodate for that situation. So it's unfortunate. I was unhappy about it myself for a long time in the race, having not been able to see it until just now. And yeah, you know, it's a crap situation to have your race end like that. I mean, in a way, it's better it happened at the start rather than at the end in a good position, I guess. I've been in both of those positions many, many times.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that and say I think we've all been in that position where I think that's probably why I always used to have my microphone off whilst racing, because in your car, when you're the victim, it's the guy the guy to the side of me has just turned right and told me on purpose. At that point, you're very tempted to press your button and stream all sorts of verbals at them. But I think ultimately, once you've calmed down at the end of the race and you've had a look and you can actually see it from the other driver's point of view, sometimes you change your mind. Sometimes you're that angry you don't. But like I say, to me, it looked like a racing incident all the way, and just unfortunate that he was there. But anyway, that aside, how was your start? We did comment that we didn't have to talk about crap starts from Simon or yourself. So was it? No, it was a crap start, was it?
It was better than Imola. Well, mind you, just getting it in gear is probably better than Imola. No, we've done a load of work on it, and we're getting there. So there's two aspects to it. One is the technique, and this is without relying on the auto clutch, anti-stall, any of that, right? Sod all that. There is a technique to doing it well. It's a skill that you have to repeat a lot. We've obviously repeated it quite a lot, but it's one of these things that when you've got the pressure of this is the actual start now, you can easily kind of muck up the subtlety to it. So in this case, I don't know about Simon's, but I know he didn't have a great one. I momentarily stalled it, but was able to kind of bring it back on the clutch without it actually stalling, all pretty quickly. So I only really lost one row, maybe 1.5 rows in time as a result of that, which isn't really the worst. I suppose it put me in the firing line for the Tyler thing at the start. I don't no idea what happened there, but I was just on the peripheral of that one. But yeah, we're getting better at it. It's just going to take a lot more practice for us to get the technique right as a higher percentage of the attempts.
Excellent. Well, we always enjoy your honesty in the interviews. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Marco, because the last 10 laps there, I could barely drive. I was looking at the relative screen to see what was going on. That's all full credit to him for trying that on the alternate strategy. That was an amazing drive. Against Chris, who was obviously, miles ahead of the rest of us to start with. So, yeah, props to Marco for giving that a go, is the main one. And yeah, and obviously to yourselves as always. To Bob Woodhouse, that was a great race I had with him. And yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Excellent. Well, let's say congratulations on a top 5, and we'll see you next time out, Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, Pete. Next up for you, it's 6th place finisher Tony Klusterman.
Good evening, Tony. How are you?
Hey, Pete. Good, thanks.
Excellent. So, in true V8 fashion, we saw some bumping and pushing at the beginning of the race. I think it was the half who got into your right rear quarter panel. Did you take any damage from that?
No, it just upset the car, and I don't know how, but I ended up with 2 wheels in the grass there, and then Jamie had to take some evasive action in case. I think he thought I was going to maybe come across, get some wheel spin on the grass. So Jamie took some evasive action, and unfortunately the Hoff got caught up in that.
Yeah. we kind of dissected it a little in Jamie's interview. Is 6th a reflective position of where you hope to finish tonight, or were you hoping to be up there on the podium steps?
No, 6 is really good. I'm
Right.
pretty happy with that. I had terrible qualifier, and then that little incident at the beginning. I don't think that hurt me too much, but I was just driving to a fuel number and trying not to get incidents. I don't know if anybody got a drive-through or not, but I was trying to avoid that.
Yeah, there was a few drive-throughs. Tyler being the first of them, I think it was. So yeah, all that bumping and banging at the start, I think, gave some people quite a lot of incident points right from the get-go, and left none in the tank, as it were, for any off tracks, which are fairly easy to pick up from comments made. Road America next time out, and we've already heard from Chris that that's one of your favourite tracks. Are you looking forward to the sprint feature there?
Yeah, really enjoy Road America. It's a fun track. It's one of my favorites.
And do you think that now that Marco's done an enduro on an alternate strategy, you yourself might do that, or is the fuel saving option the more preferable for you?
I did the strategy he used at Mosport, and it didn't work out for me. And it didn't work out as well as it did for him, anyways.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Road America should be fine. It's it's only one pit stop in the feature race there, so I don't expect that any fuel strategy will come into play.
No. Any shout outs you want to make before we let you go?
Guys on the team, I know Jamie Mack isn't around anymore, but I stole one of his setups and it seemed to work fairly well. I tuned it a little bit. But the guys on the team, Simability, Wild Rides, and you guys for doing the broadcast, of course.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will see you at Road America, Tony Klusterman.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so next up, let's bring in mid-sentence, our 7th place finisher, Bob Woodhouse. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, guys.
See, we know when you're talking and we know when to drag you in.
Yes, having a chat with Jamie. We had quite a good race.
We've got this special thing on Discord called a bullshit alert. And as soon as we go into it, we drag you in to stop you embarrassing yourself. Anyway, started 5th, finished 7th. Happy with the 7th, or was you hoping more to improve on your 5th place start?
Well, to be fair, I think I outdone myself a bit in quality. It was my fastest ever lap, so yeah, I was quite happy with that. I was quite surprised. And
you did a 29.0 as your fastest lap in the race.
In the race, but I'd done a 27.9, I think it was.
Have a look. It was, 27.955. Your qualifying.
Yeah, that was my first 27. So yeah, quite happy to put it together. I just parked it up for the last 5 minutes of quali because I wasn't going to improve.
and we see you in a number of battles out there. How do you yourself find the endurance side when we do the endurance races? We love the tactical side of them, but from a driver's point of view, what are they actually like?
Really, it's just trying to keep the car clean. So it's like when Jamie had the move on, it's just sort of like do the best, let him go, stick with him, and then try and attack again if I got chance. But the fuel was tight on this one. We had to save a bit to hit the 27 laps, so there wasn't much wiggle room with strategy on this one. It was just driving to a bit of a fuel number, and that's pretty much it.
Did the 3-stopper ever enter your mind? Because it seemed to work for Marco Namela.
But he had good pace. I think his average lap time was a second faster than mine. So yeah, I just didn't have the pace to try and do that. For me, the 2-stop was the best way to go.
Okie dokie. And next time out, we're at Road America. How do you go around there?
I'm going to the Nürburgring 24-hour, so I'm not going to be about. That's my drop round.
Okay.
So, I've got to miss. Yeah,
Hope you
got a
enjoy
miss-
yourself there.
Yeah, I'll be littering the Discord with some photos of race cars for sure.
Excellent. Anyway, mate, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, just a shout out to the team working on the setups and getting on during the week. And yeah, shout out to all you guys putting the broadcast together and keeping it all going.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to say congratulations on your 7th place, because I think anytime you get in the top 10 with this class of driver around you is a very good result. So well done, and thank you very much, Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, thank you. I'm quite happy with that 7th, to be fair.
Excellent. Right, 2 to go, Pete. Next up for you, it's Mr. Ant Woodward.
Good evening, Ant. How are you doing?
Evening.
So we
I quit.
we saw you in a number of battles with a number of drivers. It was a very exciting endurance race, and you got plenty of camera time for Simability and all the other sponsors, Wild Rides, etc.
Excellent.
The one that sticks out in my mind is when Chris was approaching you and who was it, Vincent?
Yeah. Got a bit tricky that, didn't it?
Yeah, neither of you looked like you were going to get out of his way at all. But in the end, he got through, and then there was almost no resistance at all for Marco coming through. So expect a red letter from your team boss, won't you, about not helping the team along?
To be fair, it was nothing to do with me. That it was Vincent was behind me, and then as soon as Chris was behind me, I let him pass. And as soon as Marco was behind me, I let him pass. So I'm just neutral, mate. I'm Switzerland.
Yeah, that's the story, and you're sticking to it.
Yeah.
But we didn't see you chuck it at the furniture today at all. The car looked a little bit lively under acceleration at the slow corners, but nothing significant. I'm expecting you to be happy with an 8th place.
Yeah, really happy actually, because I think that's where I was destined to finish today. Maybe that's the best I possibly could have done today. So yeah, pretty happy. Bob was always going to beat me. He's really fast. He's been around here for reals. Tony was always going to beat me. I think having Tyler and Tony behind me was, obviously they're fuel saving, right? It's an Enduro, so they're going slow while I'm doing everything I can to stay in front of them, right? And at the end of the day, though, if I was holding them up, they'd have drove past me. So I'm pretty happy to have held them off as long as I did. And my final pit stop, I took tyres twice. So yeah, I pitted. Jim, I think it's Jim, talks to me all the race.
Right.
Jim, as soon as I hit the box, he said, go. And I was like, no, you need to put fuel in. So I realised I hadn't pressed the buttons. So I had to press the buttons to call for the full fuel. And he started filling me, and I called for tyres as well. And apparently I'd already done that one. So
Right.
Did you get double grip?
no, I thought it might work like that, but I got to the end without 15, so maybe it did. I had 13.
Right, okay. Nearly there. Try better next time.
Yeah.
Cool. Road America's the next track for these cars.
Not for me.
Not for you. Where are you?
I'll be at my wedding, I think.
Oh.
Apparently,
Clyde.
you're not allowed to sneak out of the night to do
You
it.
are binning us off for your wedding.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. I'm with you.
Well, actually, I can't actually believe that Stacey's marrying you. That's more to the point.
I've got more questions. One of which
catch.
is, did you get your invite through the post, Clyde, or not?
No, it must be being hand delivered, I would have thought.
You're at Road America.
Oh dear. I'm sure we can
We can broadcast mobile.
Yeah, from the reception.
But you'll be on the big screen, obviously, in the reception.
Oh, well, there you go.
Lies. Anyway, anybody you'd like to shout out to before we let you go and get married?
Yeah, so Simability sponsors, team sponsors and league sponsors. And obviously, beautiful fiancée, Stacey, and Jack and Evie, and NQR, obviously.
Brilliant stuff. We won't see you at Road America because you're being rude and being selfish and didn't invite us. So we'll see you at whatever the race is after that. Do we even know what that is yet?
If I can dance my way out sneakily and get back, I might do the sprint.
I think you may have given the game away saying that on a broadcast.
Just wondering if I can drive in them shit flickers I got to wear.
We will see you at some point in the future then as a married man. Thank you very much for tonight, Ant Woodward.
Cheers, boys.
I can't believe we're on every other week and he's managed to clash with us. Unbelievable.
I think he's planned it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think he likes Road America. Anyway, let's bring in our final interviewee, Vincent Skilbeck. Welcome to the booth.
Evening.
Oh, he's awake straight away this time. Now, we left you to last so that you had a chance to practice your drive of shame through the pits.
Yes, it was a drive of shame. I was kind of really annoyed about that, actually. I was having a good fight with it and then I made a mistake into turn one and got myself a drive through.
Yeah, we saw you. How's a nice way to put this? Out of shape. On a few occasions. Was you just pushing the car past the limit, or was your setup particularly loose? It looked like you was having more trouble under braking than acceleration.
No, my car actually felt really good for the whole race.
Holy shit! I'd hate to see you in a bad car then.
The brakes were perfectly fine. I just don't brake as hard as what other people is, so that's the difference in the braking. There was a few times where I did have to stamp a little bit harder to try miss people. Like the one down at the hairpin with Ant, I had just misjudged where my brake marker was because I was so close behind Ant that I just pulled to the inside and then just left my foot on the brake and didn't downshift until I'd kind of come to a stop to stop from hitting him. But the traction out of the corners, once my car got old on tires, it was a little bit more harder to get out of the corners. I just had to be more careful on the throttle. But the hairpin I think was a big struggle. I found I wasn't actually using first, I was using second, but it was just a low speed slide that was kind of killing me. So when I put my foot on the gas as it was still sliding on the exit, it kind of half spun me, but that's all I can do with throttle control anyway. But
and what do you prefer? Do you prefer the sprint feature rounds, or do you like the tactical side of the endurance rounds?
To be honest, I think at the moment I'm more enjoying the sprint races because I'm just finding that the endurance races are just becoming one strategy at the moment. So everyone's just fuel saving to make 2 stops. So tonight I decided that I didn't want to go with that because I wanted to have a bit more fun. So I wanted to just go full ball the whole time. So I did the 3 stop, which didn't work for me, but at least I kind of had some good battles in the race. But I'm kind of getting annoyed at just having to fuel save because it doesn't really make for fun racing for me.
Well, the 3-stopper certainly worked for Marco Namela, so there's definitely something in that. So sprint feature next time out at Road America. How'd you get on round there?
Yes, Road America is a track I do like a lot. I think every time I've gone there, I've had pace. So it will be interesting to see how I go again this time around. I'll have to find a setup and see if one of my old setups still works. Because for this race, I think I even went back to one of my old spring settings. So I loaded the VRS setting, and then I used old spring settings. And the car, felt good. So I might do that for Road America. But
I think
I'll see how I go.
Yeah, I think whatever you did this time, it certainly worked, because it's the first time for a long time that I can remember you finishing with a whole car.
Yeah, I was actually surprised about that after turn 1. I got the 4X off that from Jamie spinning. I thought I was far enough ahead of him, but no, I still copped the 4X for it. So yeah, I lost 4 incidents up my sleeve, which could have actually saved me by the end of the race. But
yeah,
oh well.
Yeah, it certainly does. Well, you wasn't the only one, mate. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, all the boys over at Wheelie Bins that keep us going, all our sponsors, our 1,000 members that we have at the moment, even though only like 30 of them really race every day. You guys for the broadcast, Simability, and everyone in the league for awesome racing.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure talking to you, Vincent, and we'll see you next time out at Road America.
Yeah, catch you guys next round.
Okay, so interviews are over, Pete. For me, I've said it already. I love the endurance races. I love the tactical side. It was fantastic to see Marco Nemela try the 3-stop, and it almost paid off. So I think the next endurance round, maybe we might see a few more try it.
You would hope so, yeah. The fuel saving clearly doesn't appeal to everybody, as Vincent just pointed out. So it'd be good to be able to find a fuel/distance/time combination that enabled any of the different strategies to take effect and be useful. I'm not sure that there is one that covers them all, but it was certainly a fascinating race tonight. I think Simability got plenty of sponsorship footage from the cars that were on screen, because a lot of them involved NQR cars. It was interesting to see the different tactics for corner entry on a lot of the corners, specifically Chris at the hairpin and Marco at the hairpin and Marco at a few other corners as well. Very, very drastically different lines. We saw people with traction issues and others without. The ones without, maybe because they pitted more frequently, I don't know. And obviously we had the dramas as well. So thoroughly enjoyable night tonight from my perspective.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Sam, on the cameras, plenty of battling tonight for an endurance race. So as usual, the battles tend to go on at the same time, so can be quite difficult to keep up with it all.
Well, I was surprised this one was very difficult, because there were more battles than expected for an endurance race, but it's good. It makes for a good broadcast, and I'm sure the driver loved it, so that's what matters.
Excellent. Well, that was the Simability V8ESC round 15. Coming up in the next 7 days on BSTV. Wednesday, we are back in GT4 TCR action with round 10 of season 8 from Interlagos. And then, guys, we got a weekend off. I think it is it's an iRacing special event, probably the NERB 24 going on, so we haven't scheduled anything so that we don't clash. So yeah, just the Wednesday next week. V8 are back on the 28th of this month from Road America, as we've already said. And then into June, just an announcement for everybody that can be bothered to watch the broadcast all the way to the end. It's a bit like a Marvel thing, this. You've seen the credits, and now we make the announcement. Rounds 18 and 19 of V8ESC fall on iRacing Week 13. So there is no official schedule to follow. So we're going to a proper V8ESC track. We are going to Winton. You've heard it here first. It's going to be fantastic. That just leaves me to thank all the drivers for making this such a special race, and I really, really did enjoy that one. I knew I was going to, but it was better than I thought. Thanks to everybody that joined in on the chat. We always appreciate your thoughts and comments on there. Thanks to Sam and Pete for joining me in the booth. Don't forget to drop the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not one of our 656 subscribers. Make sure you follow us on Facebook as well. That way you will never miss any of the action. So it just leaves me to say good night. Let the guys say good night, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
Yeah, thanks to Simability for sponsoring the league. Always a pleasure. And to all the racers that turned up tonight. Fantastic show. Thanks, everybody. Good evening.
And good evening, everybody. See you next time.